Welcome back to another segment of Behind the Scenes of the Waltons. Today, I'm happy to continue my conversation with actor Todd Bridges. Welcome back, Todd Bridges. Of your, your career and the various different things you've worked on, what would you say is kind of some of your top things that you're most proud of?
All my dramatic movies, or dramatic shows. Like I'm proud of Little House. I'm proud of the Waltons. I'm proud of Roots. I did a show with Henry Winkler and Sissy Spacek called Catherine, which was really good. I think I worked with Jane Alexander in something that was really good too. So it's kind of like it was all my dramatic work, and then Different Strokes was a classic show that actually came in at a time and it was hated in the beginning by everyone, and then also beloved by everyone. You know, it was the same kind of thing, and so I think that's mostly what I like. The interesting part about it, I ended up on Everybody Hates Chris, that show, and now we have the cartoon coming out in a couple of months. So,
are you going to be voicing
we'll see
it?
What happens. Yeah, they're bringing all the same characters to voice their characters, which makes sense. Huh. But I do it from here, which is interesting. I go to a studio, and with technology, you know, you can see everyone on Zoom, and then you just do your voices. And they want a little different, they have you do a little differently, but at least they're right there, you know.
Wow,
it's interesting.
So, in terms of like doing a sitcom, you know, you said it was the transition was easy. You didn't. What was it about that didn't maybe kind of go to the top of your list? Was it?
I think because all the politics that paid in that show, there was a lot of politics in that show.
Behind the scenes or in the
behind the scenes, it was a lot of politics. So it really wasn't. It wasn't the most fun show to work on, you know, because it was so much politics. But when I started doing Everybody Hates Chris, that was a lot of fun to work on. It was no politics at all, just people working, you know, having a good time. And most of us that were on that show, like I did stand up for 15 years. Wow. I would travel all around. The only place I didn't go was Los Angeles. I went everywhere else, all around the United States doing stand up. And the only reason why I stopped was because they started filming people saying stuff that they didn't like, and then, you know, they get canceled. So I had to stop. I was like, okay, I better stop. Huh. Mine was pretty risky. I was pretty fun, but I just told mainly stories about myself that that were really funny. And you just, you know, you embellish a little bit of them and make them funny. So I enjoyed being able to work in front of a live audience too. You know, you have 600-700 people and you can make them laugh.
Wow. Have you done much theater work?
I've done a lot of theater work. We used to do what we call the Chitlin Circuit. We used to go on the Chitlin Circuit. I've done a lot of those shows where, you know, you sell out 5,000 or 6,000 people at a time, you know. Every theater, those things, you make a lot of money and you make it fast. And you do 16, 17 weeks and you travel by tour bus. I traveled, but the last one I did was with the father from Fresh Prince. James Avery, Marla Gibbs, and a couple of other singers, and we had a lot of fun on that show. So
it's all scripted?
Yeah.
Is it an original thing that they put together, or is it?
Yeah, it's original thing they put together, and they have songs in it and all that kind of stuff. But it used to be called the Chitlin Circuit. And the funny part about it was I'll never forget, the funniest thing about Marla, I grew up in Marla, and Marla also lived in our neighborhood. And it was like, if you were hungry, just ask Mother Marla. It was like, Marla, I am starving. She's like, hold on, baby. She'd go in her purse, find some chicken or a sandwich. She always had some food in there. It was like, thank you. Because, you know, when you go to these towns, they're closed.
Wow.
Most towns at 7 o'clock in the South close. That's it. You got no food. You got no nothing. Everything is just done.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. It's funny. I had when I was looking back at certain things that I had a sort of with some of your castmates, Dana Plato. I ended up doing this stunt for Circus of the Stars. Because Dana was supposed to do it, and it was a skydive thing, and she broke her ankle.
Oh yeah, Yeah, that's when her first thing worked. Her first shoot didn't work, and they had to pull an emergency shoot, and he broke her ankle on that one.
They didn't tell me that till later. I got a call from my agent. I was off doing a theater thing, and she said they're looking for somebody to do this like wing walking, skydiving stunt for circus. And first person who says yes, and I'm like, go ahead and say yes. And I thought, well, I'll think about it after, and then and I wasn't really thinking. Yeah, and it wasn't until I was well into the training and they went, yeah, Dana Plato was supposed to do it, but she broke her ankle. I'm like, now you're telling me.
Oh yeah. Well, when I did circus, because I did 5 years of trapeze, right? And I did trapeze
the following year. I did it once.
I did it 5 years straight. God. Yeah, and I'm the only one who did a double and got it back.
Oh my word!
So I'll tell you what's crazy was they wanted me to go higher. Of course, they want you always go higher. So they wanted me to do a triple. So in practice, I did a triple. I caught the catcher's hands. I landed it, caught his hands, but I slipped off his hands. And I was going into the back net, and I hit that back net. 2 weeks before that, somebody hit the back net, and one of the professional guys back net bounced off the wrong way, hit his head, and was messed up for life. So I hit that back net, and I came down and said, "That's it, I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm done." And they go, "Well, you got to do this." I said, "No, I'm done, man." I went home and they called me and said, "Okay, well, would you like to do the lion act?" I go, "Okay, yeah, maybe I could do that." So I come back down there. They give me a chair and a whip, put me in there with 2 big lions. And then I'm looking at these lions. I'm like, oh, no. So I walk out and go, nah, I'm not doing that either. And I go, what up the other lady? So she got mauled by one of the lions. And I was like, okay, nope, don't want everyone to do that either. And that was it for me. I was done.
Oh, wow. Yeah, when I was because I did the skydive. So I did 4 weeks of skydive training. Mm-hmm. And finally, when I stopped getting hurt on the openings and the landings, because we switched from a round parachute to a rectangle, which you can maneuver.
Yeah.
And then I was totally hooked. So I did skydiving for like 10 years.
Oh, really?
On my own. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't fool with skydiving.
And they did the wing walk. There's nothing really to do with the wing walking. You climb up on the you strap yourself in and the pilot flies, but we couldn't do the stunt because they had weather in Vegas.
Oh,
so the winds were too strong. So they shot the skydive part. And then the next day they couldn't shoot because they were supposed to invert the plane and I fall off, which was the only reason I had to learn to skydive was to be able to land.
Gotcha.
So we couldn't shoot it. And finally they ran out of time and they said, okay, we'll tease it this year and we'll shoot it next year. So they had a commitment to me for the next year, but then they said, we decided to scrub the stunt because I don't know, they said, they thought it was too dangerous or something. I don't know what, but they said you can do tightrope or flying trapeze. And for some reason I picked trapeze, which is crazy because my hands still sweat when I think about it. So
it wasn't for everyone.
I did the 12 weeks and I did do a layout somersault. That was,
Who do you train with? Bob Yerkes?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Everybody trained with him.
So he trained me and he kept wanting to get me on the giant swing or something like that. And he was trying to teach me that. And so they'd swing and I'd launch off it and land in the airbag. Well, that thing hurt when I landed.
Yeah, it does.
And I was just like, about 3 or 4 times, I went, no, because I think they wanted to do some stunt where they launched me off of that and caught me. But I was like, no, I'm getting pounded every time I hit this bag.
Well, we jumped off something. Okay, you know how Bob has the real high type part where it goes way up there?
Yeah.
We've all jumped off that into the airbag.
No.
We were, because when you're like starting out, 16, you're not afraid of anything. You're fine.
Yeah.
It's not until you get older and you realize I could really kill myself. And you're like,
that's what happened with me with the skydiving thing was I thought, I had sprained ankles, playing tennis, rolling ankles and stuff like that. And I went, skydiving, it's like I could break an ankle, I mean, I didn't even know about Dana, but I'm like, yeah. And then I got through about 3/4 of the way through the 8 hours of ground training when they're talking about this malfunction and that malfunction and what you do. And I'm like, that was the first time it occurred to me, break an ankle. I could die doing this. That had never crossed my mind until then. And, fortunately, no serious injuries.
But that's how it was when I hit that back net. I realized that I could die or be seriously maimed. And I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, because
This
they
is
always told us
crazy.
with the trapeze, they said, if you do not have a good grip on the bar, drop it right away because you want to hit the net, the middle nets. Those side nets
Yeah.
are not designed to stop people. And
Nope.
they told us, they said, we've had experienced people like go through that, go right through
yeah.
that net. So
Yep.
it's like they drilled that into us. And,
Oh,
and of
yeah.
course we were in safety nets until the, safety belt wires
Yes.
until the very end.
Yeah.
But I did it with Randy Oakes, who had done it
Oh, yeah.
times, and she used to just go train with him. And
Oh, yeah. Randy Oakes. I
Yeah.
knew I flew one year with her too.
yeah. So
Yeah.
she was working on a 2.5.
Oh, okay.
She might have been working on a triple. I think she did the 2.5. She was working on the triple, but she was never able to catch it.
See, I caught it, but I was
Yeah.
done with it. Slipped off his hands, and I was like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah. But she one
Yeah.
time in practice, she, missed the dropped, but bounced out of the net.
Yeah.
And I mean, they always had spotters like by the sides of the net for that reason, but she
Oh,
got
yeah.
caught up in the suspension wire, like the things that stretch the net out at the middle at the bottom. So
Oh,
she
yeah.
got kind of hung up in that and tweaked her knee. And so that was kind of, I mean, we all got injured. I had,
Oh,
I had
yeah.
pulled my shoulder, and, when you just kind of kept
Oh, yeah.
training because it was,
Yeah, you just kept going. Because they always say, get back up there. And you're like, oh, yeah.
yeah,
And they were like,
you
they were
know,
like, get back up there. I was like, nope, that's it. I'm done.
yeah. So, with the trapeze, it's like I shot the thing, we went to Vegas,
Oh,
we did
yeah.
the thing. I'm like, thank you very much. I don't need
Oh,
to ever
yeah.
fly again. But I'm sure like when I watch shows where actors are supposed to be doing trapeze,
Oh, yeah.
and you go, they're standing on the board, they have no idea how to leave the board.
Exactly.
I'm like, I'm like that
That's
with
not how
watching
you
people
do it.
skydive. I'm like,
Exactly.
that is not how skydiving happens. That is not,
Oh, yeah.
you are not having a conversation for 3 minutes on the way down.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, so I have another meeting at 3.
Okay, I will let you go, sweetie.
Yes, I got to go do my
But
brother,
just,
and then I set up a meeting.
you know,
Thank you so much, Judy.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you.
It was a lot
I
of
really
fun.
appreciate your time.
Definitely.
And,
Definitely. It was fun. And I'm telling you, you look very similar the same way. So it's pretty
You're
good.
so sweet. Thank you.
You didn't age that much. So we look great.
Well, I like your new headgear,
Yeah, well, I don't have any hair. That's the problem. It just ran away. So I will talk to you
All right.
shortly. I'll talk to
Okay.
you soon. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye, sweetie. Thanks for joining me for this segment of Behind the Scenes of the Waltons with my special guest, Todd Bridges. I will be back with more Behind the Scenes of the Waltons and more Ask Judy and some more special guests. Thanks for watching.